Brenda used to walk these streets with pride. Her husband Chris, a patriot by her side. But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too, but Brenda stood tall like the sky so blue. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. In the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I didn't even go in my own chat to say, hey, probably everybody expected me an hour ago, but you know how it happens. What? We were trying to, get some few things together with the host, with the most, and yeah, we just got sharing some information. Hopefully, try to help release our families. I mean, that's what ultimately our goal is to see the people that are the real criminals. See that they are behind bars, and the people, the victims, are free to be with their families. And I mean, we're finding so much information that it blows my mind is how long they have pretty much bullied and stalked my family, and this is coming from some like my husband's history of his family, fought the duration of the Revolutionary War. They were awarded like all this land in Kentucky. And for a while, we actually moved Kentucky. Actually, we lived in Kentucky for a year. And that's when Sage and Chris were just, I believe Chris was like 2. And Sage was was 4 when we moved to Kentucky. Okay, so you guys figure out what that year was. But the thing is that we had lived in New Hampshire before that. So we actually moved back to New Hampshire twice and Ohio twice throughout our stays. But where my middle son was, my oldest 2 were born at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where all these conspiracies about the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I mean, we seen, I can't remember who was president then, but Chris got to guard the, what do you call it? Air Force One. Thank you. Someone's still loves me. Fact over lies. But yeah, and then, so from Ohio, then we were living in Ohio. Chris got out of the Air Force, and then Our oldest were just still pretty little. They're like, you know, our oldest that still live in New Hampshire. We went from Ohio because we ended up living in Cleveland there for a little bit. It was right outside the Coliseum, actually. So that was an adventure, the rock and roll capital of the world. I remember one time, my oldest two were going through. Chris was going to what do they call it, the VA, and these buildings. They have big buildings in Cleveland, and it was like all of a sudden this like wind devil, I don't know what you call it, it just like got trapped in between all these buildings, and it was like a little tornado. It was like, reminded me of Tasmanian devil or something, but it was a tornado. And I was holding Julia's hand, and her little feet went like literally went up in the air, man. I grabbed her other hand, and it was just like, oh my goodness, it was almost scooped her up. But that was a weird story. And then from Ohio is when we wanted to go live out in the woods. We said, let's go to Minnesota, and that's where our third son was born. And then, yeah, there was when we lived out there, there was a sheriff, okay, that covered that particular county or whatever it was, for Ely, Minnesota. Okay, the sheriff. There was a little smaller base right in Ely, and then the main one was what was that town, like Duluth? So yeah, Duluth or Virginia. But anyways, this guy, this sheriff had asked Chris if he's part of the was the not Kuma Cum Laude. I'm thinking of the kids now. I don't know. I actually when I remember, I'll let you guys know. But anyways, I remember that being out there for a nice. It was the first house we actually owned after my third son was born. It was really really nice place. But I also found by the time we were moving out of there, we already had evidence that our house was literally raided when we had went back to Ohio and was looking. Actually, we traveled for a little bit with the oldest three. We did a little traveling, seeing where the Lord would bring us. We spent some time in Michigan. Very good Christian friend we had there, because so we did decided to settle back in Ohio, and that was the end of the 90s there. And then from there we decided, oh, we got to go back to the country again. And then that's what we did. We went back to the country and moved to, where is that, New Hampshire? See, it even confuses me, guys. But anyways, so we had been talking about, I guess there's some big events going on with this Tina Downing. What's the other lady's name? Jennifer or Jessica Saxon. There's so many J names in my life. So that's exciting. I don't know what exactly he's doing, but it seems like they got quite a few people going to rally up there, and at hopefully they got their permits. That's all I gotta say. Over there in DC, and there's a couple of people going to be speaking and all. People are on their way there now. But we figure, we can be here in the control rooms for anybody that gets down there and just wants to go live, something like that. We're thinking of, let's broadcast it every which way we can, get some attention to this. I mean, we are the journalists for this, CPS, even though we don't got, our press tag on or whatever. Okay. This is, we're independent journalists, and that's what we are. So, well, I thought there was a few things that Chris had up on YouTube. One incident we had, police illegal roadblock, we call it. One time we're driving down the road in New Hampshire, and oh man, they're stopping, the police stopping everything. And we're like, what the heck's going on for the longest time? And then all of a sudden, you see these police officers jogging down the road, and apparently we have to stop our lives for them to do their little jogathon or whatever it was. And so Chris did a video about it, whatever. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so speaking of Chris, look at this. I got a letter here from 2001. Okay, now right here, God forbid, they'll gosh forbid, they'll come after me like Nancy Schaefer. But if you guys, this came from the U.S. Department of Justice and Mr. Christopher Cambron. So this is when we lived in Jonesport, Maine. Your facsimile to Director Free. Okay, so Director Free at that time was the FBI director. Concerning future employment opportunities with the FBI in the area of violent crime analysis has been forwarded to me for a response. Thank you for your interest in working with the FBI. The FBI is one of the most respected and sophisticated law enforcement agencies in the world, and the primary investigative arm of the Department of Justice. In considering, will find many avenues which to operate. Our intelligence research specialists and intelligence operations specialists, for example, are a group of highly trained and well-equipped personnel who specialize in providing immediate and effective support to criminal, terrorism, and foreign intelligence investigations of the FBI and other law enforcement organizations. The FBI maintains a worldwide infrastructure, mandates the development of a timely, strategic, programmatic, and agencies regarding violent criminal activities, criminal behavior, assessments, and related training, and through an ability to rapidly respond to and resolve crisis events. Okay, resolve them, not antagonize them, right? If you see what happened in the streets over there in Minneapolis, like I said, we lived in Minneapolis, or not in Minneapolis, we lived in Maine and Minnesota, and that's when I started noticing some issues that we're being questioned if we're part of some type of militia. I can't remember the name. When I do, I'll let you guys know. But no, we're like, no, we're not part of anything. You know, we're just a family here. I recommend that you visit our website at www.fbi.gov for additional information. This site will offer you the opportunity to review and complete listing of open positions, along with required qualifications for each, the ability to apply online and close, blah, blah, blah. Should you have any additional questions about employment opportunities, you may contact Special Agent Mary Jean Fryer, applicant coordinator of the Boston field office. So if he's in Maine, the field office for, I'm sorry, again, I got that wrong. For Minnesota, no, this is Maine. Okay, sorry guys, that is Maine. The two M's. Okay, so if I had any problems, say when I was in Minnesota and I wanted to talk to the FBI that was above that area, it would have been the Boston field office. And so it's also assigned by a Gwinnell Hubbard, supervisory specialist, personnel management specialist, and national recruiter. National. I can tell you, sometime after Chris did apply to a couple of these positions, we had like FBI come and question us about his, the whole history. So they must know who we are. So there shouldn't be any mistake in that, right? Since we've been applying to, or Chris had been applying to jobs for all those years after he was out of the Air Force, because he was a law enforcement specialist there. In any case, John's here. And Debbie. Oh, jeez, I messed up my screen. Sorry, guys. It didn't bother you, but it did bother me. Um, oh, back to overlays. Thanks to you. Yeah, that's what we want to know. It's like, when's Brenda's kids? Some of us don't know where our kids are. Usually the people I talk to every day, or quite a bit, is are do know where their kids are, and that must be a relief to know where your kids are. At least. Um, and so, what has anybody got any news or anything going on? Um, let's see what else, guys. Okay. So there's a lot going on in with Trump. Apparently, he doesn't like that deal, or Elon Musk doesn't like his big deal anymore. And I think it was what is it? Rand Paul also, I think, is in agreement with Musk on that one. And the other thing is that we have a little bit of history with his dad, Ron Paul. Okay, now they live in Texas, him and his wife, and when Chris was running for legislator, that was where he was coming to campaign. Ron Paul was running for president. It was the brick red church. Um, and so we did have our own like video and pictures of that, mostly pictures. And some of the pictures you can see Ron Paul with his arms open out like this because he's getting ready to give the kids a hug or whatever. I don't know. He was just like ready to give them a handshake. I think he's a very sweet guy, and I handed him this CD that Chris did. It was called Stupidly, and we made a whole bunch of CDs, printed out a whole bunch of them, and we were passing them around. And when we lived in Maine, we would travel and pass them around. Even when we did that Alex Jones contest, as well as hanging up those posters for some context Alex Jones was talking about. And by the way, Alex Jones, I just want to make clear that you are not the only one to predict 9/11, okay? I seen him trying to take credit for this when he was on Tucker Carlson. And I can tell you, I have proof of the people that we've been talking to at the FBI before all that stuff happened, because Chris, as an advisor, had advised them about that. No news, no new news, no new news. I mean, that's a tongue twister for you. Okay, so yeah, that's what, same here. I'm kind of getting excited because within the next few days, there's a response due to Chris's initial brief on the appeal. And I mean, I'm just getting too damn anxious about this. And it's really a horrible thing because Chris is going through it and he can't even get his medicines that he was prescribed for like months and months. I mean, these privately owned prisons, I don't know what they got going on, but there is nobody doing their job. They're really having, just like CPS has trouble being understaffed, so do prisons and jails. I can tell you that. It's likely they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to find the people that they do. And, they're just... It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And he wasn't even placed properly. I can tell you that. Or he's supposed to get some type of, medical care. It was really disgusting that, also think about it. My daughter is, special needs, you might want to say. She needs help with certain things. Okay. She never would be able to function as an adult on her own. Okay. Well, never, I don't know, but it's been said by neurologists and that. Well, why would you take her away from that familiar bond, like where she feels comfortable, where she doesn't have to feel like anxious and stuff like that. I mean, very emotional young lady, my daughter was, and also my son. And you know especially Sage is a lot like her dad. I mean, Chris also has autism as well. My husband. But in any case, I just heard that Trump is also in Epstein files. This is what I'm hearing, okay? And maybe wondering if that's why maybe Elon Musk is breaking off from that, because I mean, hopefully there's going to be somebody there that can freaking say, hey, there's a bunch of other kids missing. What's going on? Because there's got to be some connection. And in fact, Allie Carter was the one that was making that connection, because she was part of it. She was in foster care and then are trafficked by P. Diddy. Now, what the hell? I'm sure that he kept tabs on everyone that was getting rich. I heard that Dan Bongino saying, you know, when when Epstein came to the White House, okay, um, I think, what was it, Epstein that came at the White House? Whatever, whoever was going up there, they say, well, there's two elevators, right? One for the special elevator where the guests, you had to sign in, right? You're signing in if you're going in that special elevator with the only special permissions to be able to be there. So it's really sad that this stuff continues on, and hopefully they do stir up something over there in DC, and maybe some people are going to start taking notice. I mean, my friend Pam, out in Florida, I haven't heard from her. I tell you, first thing, I didn't even know her that well. She down to DC one time. I hardly even know her. She said, Brenda, send me some pictures. I'll put them on a poster and for your kids. And sure enough, she did, man. She's still posting those pictures with my kids on it. I mean, so it's a beautiful, caring person. I'm glad to have like such wonderful people that I've came across through in other circumstances would have never met, and as well as everybody on the show. What would be the chances that we would, ever have to, just find each other throughout this fight, because the thing is getting to be more and more, and that's why I think is really important, guys, is to everybody pull together. There shouldn't be no no strife, no jealousies or anything like that. I mean, it's just, the thing is that um one thing we have in common with everybody else is everybody cares about the welfare of the children, okay? Or even if they're young adults. I mean, they're people that have been through trauma and everything else. So, private prisons have extremely lucrative combined revenue of $4 billion. Geo Group and correct. I don't know. I don't get that word. Okay, group owns. I know she's got a messed up finger, so I'm going to give you credit on that. Group owns and manages 28 immigration jails on behalf of ICE. And the thing is, guys, when we seen, in fact, I realized, what's that guy's name on the street that was the first to be up there at that damn jail? Remind me of his name, because this dude, and I'm saying the footage he's got, and I've seen some other footage of what happened down there in Minnesota as well. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, a lot of those people that we be pushing around weren't, they look pretty American to me. So I don't know what you guys thought of it, but it's almost like, wow, seeing these big metal vehicles going down your road, and people with vests saying FBI, that seems a little intimidating. But I mean, is that how bad it's gotten with all these illegals? And I think it's sad to say it's true. That I mean, it's just like what's the name of that movie? With Charlton, was it Charlton Heston? With the Soylent Green, right? Gosh, I was talking to Wendy, and I just want to say Wendy is doing a fine job, helping out. And I really say that, she can use your guys' prayers, because, I mean, some of us, we just, have those freaking days, or sometimes we have those months, or we have those years that have really, messed with us mentally. And it's nice to know you have some people out there you can talk to if you're feeling overwhelmed. Epstein's good at financial corruption. Might be an explanation for Mark Carney to socialize with Epstein too. Epstein might have caught Carney how to borrow money without paying back the interest. Yeah, yeah. ICE and CPS, they FBI were all arresting child traffickers too. Well, I mean, that's what I'm also afraid of. Okay, if these people were trafficking children, so a lot of these children that were children when they were taken by CPS, but now are adults. That's what I saw. I saw a big white kid like putting handcuffs on him. So what if like they, God forbid, I don't know what's happening to these victims, or if they can even tell the difference. Jeez Louise. Because there's victims of this, right? I mean, it's scary, guys, when you don't know where your kids are. No idea. ICE and CPS, they and FBI. Okay. Okay, thanks, John. And Nick Shirley. Okay, thanks a lot, Fact Over Lies. I almost missed that. Okay, Nick Shirley. God bless you, and God, this guy has been there. He was the first to go to that prison. I can't even remember the name of that, but right on, right on top of it with these reports, man. And especially right there down in Minnesota just recently. I mean, that was some great stuff. And thank you for Fact Over Life sharing that. And I shared it on. It seems like it's, we got to look at all these other people. Like, so I'm saying, all these groups that are talking about the freedoms and the Constitution and stuff, because it ultimately, I bet you look into some of these groups, because if it's not the children that are being harmed, it's the elderly and everyone else in between. Like, what about the like white males that are actually targeted by these, I don't know what you want to call them, bullies, or I can say some bad apples, I can tell you. And if we're going to want a report about certain ones, I mean, look at what you got. That one guy still hasn't been found. He used to be a sheriff in Arkansas and has been in prison for, SA and all this other stuff. And there he is. I mean, he got out of there and he's not been found. And then you got this, what is it? God forbid, some gang member, whatever he is, he's asking for Trump for help from the New Orleans break and saying, well, maybe this kid is a victim too. God knows. I mean, this is what this society is creating, a cycle of horror that it all done and making money through this prison system of locking our families away. It's just like, I can't believe in a million years that a parent that has been really good at parenting would this happen to. But then we find, oh my gosh, there's millions. Who knows? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We got to reach out. Is everybody? Everybody needs to get together. I got to go see that girl. She's waiting on trying to get a phone that's in Louisiana. She's, like I said, she's within walking distance. But, I mean, this girl has been through it. So we found some people, and in fact, a couple people in Louisiana also had their kids taken. And right here in freaking Eunice. Bondi accused of serious professional misconduct in Florida bar complaint. Article is on the Hill. Oh, really? Lopez was the elected sheriff in November of 2020 and reelected in 2024. You're saying is for Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. The others are facing charges in connection with allegedly massive gambling operation in Central Florida. See, we were close to Central, but as far as like in the region, if you were to find out who your U.S. Federal U.S. attorney is for your county and state where your children were taken, or your rights were violated, what have you, you should know who. Like, for instance, here on the section where we had so much abuse going on was Michelle Spavin. And it somehow puts us in the northern, and I kept thinking it was like the middle. I swear to God, I kept thinking it was the middle because we were like kind of central, but I guess it was right close to that little bend there, right? And I tell you, when those hurricanes came through there, freaking a year ago, whatever it was, guys, I mean, that was a mess they had down there. I mean, God's vengeance is, as I say, wow, you're going to lock my husband and my children away? God forbid, Florida. Oh, yeah. I mean, good luck on surviving these storms that are, again, probably coming your way. Well, anyways, guys, it ended up, we came on a little late, and I think I lost some of my viewers, not coming on time. Probably people are crashing out. I mean, Eastern time, it's already 10:30 for you. It's still a young evening for me, people. I've got 9:33 over here. What else did I want to talk about? So that was interesting. I found a little backstory to Chris and a response from the U.S. Department of Justice. And I have something like I wrote down like sometimes on the back of folders. Okay, so I have some information here. And if anybody was interested in looking any of this stuff up, I mean, we actually got a transcript requests. This is saying I got a transcript request. I didn't know I had a transcript from the main case. I doubt if I do. The police assault InfoWars reporter. A lot of times it's just easier. A police illegal roadblock. It's usually best. That was the Rogue Journalist Wars channel. Stupidly movie. I think that's I'm not sure what channel that ended up being on, the Stupidly movie. Like I said, we made all those discs, and it was on there, and it showed the failures of the Obama administration, and I think they were offended by it. Like I say, these people don't like to be called names. I mean, that somehow harms them, but they don't think that stealing your children away is going to harm you. They might rightly know that really is harmful to a loving parents, that their children are taken away. Who's sending messages? Oh, I didn't know if you guys knew. Anybody that's in the chat now, but we're gonna have a hootenanny for Trump, maybe a birthday bash, as well as honoring the veterans, because that's what they're going to be doing in DC. And who knows, maybe if anybody is going to be down to DC on the 14th, that's when we're going to be doing some live streams and trying to connect with some people down there, and hopefully we can ourselves with the CPS breaking news, have some breaking news. In fact, like, God forbid, I mean, if we can get Trump's attention on this, guys, whatever anybody says, God knows, whatever he knows about Epstein, maybe he's here to help. I mean, I dreamt that he was, that he would eventually help, our family, and most likely help all of us. I mean, I can't see this man would do anything but want to help these kids and these veterans. Okay. It's just there's been people in the way of getting him the information, the vital information. So we got to figure out a way. We got to figure out a way because, like I said, I think Chris was right about that. When you're saying your prayers, go directly to the top. Okay, we're praying to God. Okay, that Trump will recognize the harm that's coming to all these families and rectify it. And this Department of Justice, okay, with this Cash Patel, I mean, it needs to come down. Okay, all that needs to be, you know, flipped around. What do you call it in court when they reverse it? Reverse the whole thing of the decision. Let's reverse that freaking FBI and Homeland Security from what it was, because I can tell you for a fact that I know it was pieces of crap that were in the Homeland Security and the freaking all them even in the past Trump administration too. I mean, here we were, having these numbers and did so much for the country and saying, hello, here I am. My kids were stolen away from me. And it was kind of weird because when I had that number down to in 2019, okay, Trump was president then. I previously had these numbers from Clinton's administration, okay. Well, however I got them, I still have some that are working. One to the vice president's office of national security. I called down there. I say, man, I had my daughter in the car. He knew the situation about the bulletin and all that. I had reported it to him. I still have the guy's name, but he's like, I'm like, what should I do? I mean, this is where I'm at now. He's like, go to a news station. So that you want to do a live show or whatever. And to me, in my mind, that would have been the end of me and my daughter's adventure. So I dragged it on a little bit, and unfortunately, it didn't work out because if I would have went to the news station, they would have called the police right from there. I mean, especially when you have that bulletin giving people the wrong idea that we're terrorists, because that's what it's relaying to law enforcement. That if you go back and listen to Levi Sewell, Attacks National Hero, I think it is, the Rogue Journalist Wars channel, you can see that the officer says, I wonder why this officer's putting him in chokehold and all this other stuff and twisting my wrist, is because it says, it alerts them that we're some type of terrorist. So, hello? I thought we were the ones that fought for this country, not these pieces of shit that want to go by some thing that wasn't established in a court of law when that was written. So those are the Department of Justice that I'm talking about needs to go. And whoever these guys are, I mean, it's like, what is that? What was that? One guy that with the one song, and then somebody's watching you, right? It's all the freaking time. And I heard somebody else made that reference just today, that it's like we're living in a Truman Show movie. Exactly. Hi, Dr. Death from Canada. Yeah, and what's going on? Are you close by those fires going on? Jim Louise. I mean, this is bad air quality I'm hearing for the United States even here. Now, I remember back when we, I don't know if you know where, we were in the Arrowhead region when we lived out in Minnesota, and we went in the boundary waters and canoed all the way to Canada. That's where, and we were just talking about with this Danielle, because of those eagles. If anybody keeps an eye on what's eagles, I completely forgot about that. They used to have those similar eagle, eagle stands where the they took video, and there's a certain time of year they would come down to Minnesota and people would come just to see those eagles coming in there. But in any case, yeah, we was out there with our two oldest kids as possible. This was before I was pregnant with my third, but I mean, what an adventure, guys. And we never would have seen freaking Northern Lights like that. when we were up there, in the middle of the freaking dark, on an island in the Boundary Waters. Are you kidding me? I thought the Lord Himself was coming down. I said, "Praise the Lord!" You better, but hopefully you know, gosh, you gave your life to the Lord, because I really had made this circle with the dancing lights around it. I mean, I never seen anything like that in my life. The two kids, they were too tired. They went to bed, but me and Chris saw it. Something else. Who had a spear fishing thing. Bing! Yeah, Chris, he went in the water snorkeling with that. He's like, he fucking got the hell out of there. He said he seen some big ass fish in there. He just wanted to get out of there, man. We don't need that fish that bad. Um, not so bad in this GTA. GTA, Grand Theft Auto. What do you mean by GTA, John? God, bad air here today, I guess. He gets the gas, right? You're freaking, we're gonna have to breathe the air that's surrounding us. There's nothing much we can do. I mean, that's why, years ago everybody wanted to get those gas masks and stuff like that. I mean, get your bunkers ready, guys. There's some people I met actually in Louisiana. I don't know what they call them, some kind of type of survivalist, where they have some kind of place where they stockpile all this food and actually make these underground, type, maybe you call it a root cellar type thing. And again, that was another nice thing about living in Minnesota. There was an actual root cellar that was in the side of the hill. It was like, it looked like a hobbit house, had the rounded door. And we kept, like, onions and potatoes in there and stuff. I mean, there's so many things we could have done with that. But again, like, we found evidence of way back then in the 90s that we were targeted by these law enforcement then. Does it threaten them that my husband has some intelligence on him, and that, it just doesn't make sense, guys. We're thinking about it. Wow. It's like sometimes when people know too much is when people turn on them. Um, a lot of fish have been going belly up here. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's exciting. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, Greater Toronto area. I gotcha. Bunker, is that what you're talking about a lot, Brenda? Yeah. Yeah, the bunkers. The bunker buster. Yeah, there is a thing in the military, right? Called they use the bunker busters. Anyways, yeah, I was just thinking about, memories. Uh, yeah. But like I say, that was the first where all of a sudden, sheriff's coming out asking us questions, questioning us. What's all the questions, yeah, we live out here with our family, and we're trying to, have a good life. I mean, beautiful trees and enjoying the nature. We had a well, 5.5 acres there, but we got the heads up that it was going down. I mean, I don't understand why. I do remember they stopped giving us medical care over there. It was very strange. Like, one time I went in there when my blood pressure, had been passed out, and my blood pressure had dropped really low, and the nurse up at this clinic over there in Minnesota didn't believe that my blood pressure was reading that low. Like, she's out tapping on it, like, oh my gosh, that must be broken. Went to grab the other one when they realized I was freaking had hives all over me and all this other stuff. I mean, they put my life into the, at risk there. It's ridiculous, laying in the freaking waiting room. Sometimes I just don't understand, these places. Oh, it's the same there in Utah. Interesting. Yeah, I was watched some news of how that the cloud of smoke's coming on in there. And then, I mean, look at, what the people in California have had to deal with for all that time. Now, I haven't heard anything again about California in a while. As far as I can remember, for years and years, there's always been something burning in California. I thought there was an interesting song I found today. Um, it's something about the burning, the fire burning. Interesting. Yeah, because it's almost true. It's like it seems like Bible times are happening. I swear to God, guys. Even though I've never read the Bible through, I've associated with some people that are very knowledgeable about this, and there's quite a few signs, especially with these volcanoes as well. That smell that comes from those volcanoes. Okay, so, anyways, oh, what plans? I got your picture. What is this? This is interesting. You're wearing pants. Is it cool down there? I see your feet. Um, I don't understand. Are plants gonna grow all up along there then? Is that what will happen? That's very interesting. Wow. So what kind of like substrate you have in there? Maybe some like wood chips. I'm not sure what you use for that. It looks like dirt in the pot though. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to show this, so you guys wouldn't be able to see it because I think if I turned it down really low, like really low, you guys might be able to see this. Um, Here, let me get back up here. Um, Look at that. That's something else, right? And apparently, people pay big money for these darn plants. Gosh darn it! For some reason I've never like grown house plants or anything like that. What's that called on wet plants? That's the pothos bowl. I just made it. It has several types of pothos in it. It's homemade substrate. Good job. I mean, I tried to grow some shiitake mushrooms, and it was a fail. Have you ever dealt with? I think it's supposed to be easier to grow the oyster mushrooms. Did you guys ever think of venturing on that path? They can't have any more fires at this point. Yeah, they'll ban it, and because California tried to burn up last year, that's the thing. Like, they're not gonna have any more fires because everything's been darn burnt down at this point. Am I right? Oh yeah. All right. So, same old on this end. I think this week, usually like every weekend, I like to go say hi to this girl for the past couple weekends that lost her three children, and they tried to throw her son into like a mental institution. That's this son. She has one that's about to turn, I think, 18. Yeah. And then she's got a couple of younger ones as well, like, 5 or 8 or something like this. Um, I didn't get into houseplants until 2022 when my grandfather passed away. I killed everything before then. Now I have some of it, and it's just like that song, a Sinead O'Connor song, right? Everything died in the garden, backyard when you ran away. Um, Anyways, I noticed that like same thing that happened with my mom. Like yeah, these flowers started growing. Um Interesting. And the rose bushes, they're almost sometimes magical. Um Boy, we found this one property up in Louisiana, northern of here. I'm telling you, it had such magical plants around that place. I mean, you had black, or what do you call them? Mulberries galore. I mean, just tons and tons of mulberries. I mean, that when I lived there is when I should have been selling those damn mulberries. I thought mulberries were a bush, but these they become huge trees, and I don't know why we didn't. We had grafted some, replanted up there. Then we figured out we had a whole bunch more mulberry, like newer mulberry trees that were growing on both the properties we own there. We're like, whoa. And there's a big mulberry tree behind our shed. Well, apparently the guys, the ones that we planted out front for eventually for, a privacy from the house. When we after we sold it, the people just mowed right down all those trees. I was thinking we should have grafted some and brought them with this over here to Eunice. That would have been fabulous. So I did bring my mandarin orange tree. I'm glad we dug it up, and we kind of felt bad for digging it up, but God forbid they would have just mowed it right down. So mandarin orange tree is coming back. I have it way in the front yard over here. But and this house came with a kumquat tree, which is kind of funny. Um, I didn't get into. Hey, my Brenda, my Danielle, my. She must talking and texting. I see you now. Um, if you could see me now. Well, we're just going on and on about some stuff. But Danielle, what do you got going on? Hello, did you have a show earlier, Danielle? No, not today. Danielle had a show yesterday, correct? Um, but everybody's got something going on. I mean, Danielle's over there helping everybody in the book, as far as I understand it. Who was it? What's her name? Told me we were talking to her last night. Chris Brayton. So hopefully everything's going okay with those guys. I mean, it's a lot to deal with, guys. Sometimes, people, have questions. Sometimes the people are getting down because of, what's going on with their cases or, their lives. And it's nice that, we can be there for each other. Okay. Because, at this point, I'd say, our kids are counting on us, as we can be, the heroes that get the justice deserved. Okay, and I don't know. I like the street justice thing, but it's almost like it's missing something with the justice. Justice is definitely going to be part of the name, but Danielle, we're going to come up with something even more powerful, or to add it to. The tree of life, right, Danielle? Uh, ay, ay, ay. I never. This. My son's not gonna text me back about that, is he? Anyways, I'm glad that lady sent me a link. This friend of mine over here, that's a nurse. She's trying to help me out find any job that might be popping up. I mean, I am getting no hours at Fashion Connect, and it's very disappointing. I wonder if she started looking at my Facebook and now is she mad at me in some way? Who knows? Man, you live in a little town. It's probably, who knows? I don't understand. I thought, it'd be a few hours. I didn't be no none. Geez Louise, how am I supposed to pay these bills, guys? A squirrel. Oh my gosh, my neighbor had a big problem because these squirrels in her backyard was eating her plants. She had some beautiful plants or something, with these big beautiful flowers, and it was just about to bud. Apparently, the squirrels were eating her stuff. She had got one of these safe traps. I swear to God, she's been relocating these squirrels. She has a total of 11 squirrels caught. That's my friend Terry next door. And I'm like, how are you catching these squirrels? I had a safe trap. I was never able to catch anything. And 11 squirrels. Can you imagine this? And she said she's using pecans again. I'm like, Terry, do you need any pecans? Because there's a tree right down from where I live. God forbid. I'm trying to keep those pecans cool because I haven't been eating them. But I mean, to me, it seems like too much work to crack open those pecans. But some of them that I had out in the shed, not it's really a storage room. It kind of stays kind of cool in the summer and warmer in the winter. And there, it's right under my carport. And some of them I couldn't get that outer skin off, and I think they got soft. But the ones I had inside, hopefully they're good because I just gave my friend Kimberly some of them over here where I live in Eunice. Those damn squirrels. Rocky Raccoon. It didn't have. There was another show. It used to be was it Rocky the Squirrel? Yeah. It used to wear a little like it looked like a uh, how they fly the airplane caps. What was that? Was that Rocky the Squirrel? Tell me what it was, Danielle. He was my favorite one to watch the cartoons. Oh, yeah, it definitely was sending out. Yeah, I need your address, White Plants. Text it to me. I didn't get everybody saying they were going to send me some seeds. I didn't get any. Have anybody know? Let me know if you're going to, so I can look. Well, I'm going to check my mail every day anyway. But and Danielle, I still got to send your brother out that stuff. I got sidetracked on that. God forbid if I have to ask her for her address one more time because I'm too lazy to go back in our messages. But I know I must have it here, Danielle. And I have it in the car. I had it ready to go. Rocky, right. Oh, Rocky and Bullwinkle, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Rocky and Bullwinkle, that was a good time. Dr. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Because you seem to know a lot of these things that I know. Rescuers Down Under. Oh, was there a squirrel one with called Rescuers Down Under with Rocky? Rocky, Adrian. Google me. Google me. Should we go? Okay, I'm gonna Google Danielle. Alrighty. So, what else is going on? I don't see a lot of the crowd that I've been getting in these other nights, probably because we came in about an hour later than usual. So, what's got going on? Doesn't any friends want to come on in? Maybe if we stay in here long enough, we'll get some more people on. Now it's going on 10 o'clock. Is there anybody got anything going on at 10 or 11 for you guys out there in the East Coast? The East Coast have the boat, and every girl's just saying I do. I don't know the words. I never really did like that guy. Truth be told. Okay. Oh no. I'm sorry, Danielle. I went into YouTube for some reason. Okay. I mean, we were. I swear to God, we were checking everything that's on Chris just earlier. Um. All right. So, whoops. Okay. Let's look it up. I don't see Danielle. Inner Beauty Danielle. Facebook Danielle. CBS 12. Maybe this. No, this is 4 months ago. No, Matt Leakin. Let me see what this is. I want to see. I thought you said Google you, and that's what I was doing.
What did you put? Did you put my right last name? Did you put Georgia? Well, then that's cool to know that comes up. You'll find all kinds of shit on me.
CBS 12. That's right.
I was just saying, when people, if you say my address, just Google. I used to tell people Google me, but I don't want to say that on here. Like Google me, bitch.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, because hell, my mom used to Google me all the time. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? I had to. Brenda made me do it. She made me come in.
It was showing like if you Googled me, I think it shows you all our past addresses.
Yeah. I mean, heck, yeah, you can, and you see, you'd be surprised because that's how I found some things. Like, because I Google my own name. Hey, because I'm like, what's going on? Because my kid's dad, my daughter's dad, Johnny. That if I couldn't have my biggest fan, my biggest fan of my fan club, he or my stalker club. He's like the president of it because I get these messages where he Googles my name like I don't know how many times a week. It's crazy. And I mean that's the one that he would love to be back with me, but we can't. We're just too toxic for each other.
Yeah.
We're better off friends. Sometimes you're better off friends with your exes. It makes more of a, we're able to parent better, and co-parent. And my daughter, that's the one that's about to be 18, the one that just graduated. And boy,
Well,
she talks to her daddy. I know, and he's like a little kid in the candy store. He's
okay, we are getting a new face in here.
They sell our information. That's right, Priscilla. Yes, they do.
Right.
Is that what's her face from yesterday?
What's her face? Yeah.
No, well, I
Yeah.
didn't want to say her
Thanks
name
for
on
the
here.
reply.
That's
What's her
not
face?
her. It's Priscilla, I
Yeah.
think. Right? Okay.
But
I've,
like Scylla, I think Scylla is like a short name for her, right, baby?
yeah.
Because I know her email is similar with the baby purple.
Y'all, look what the poison ivy did. See my face? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like that shit hurts with my glasses on it.
I'm telling you,
And oh my god, last night was bad. I slept like I've never slept so much in my life. Damn Benadryl. Damn Benadryl, man. Woo.
right?
It stops the itching, but man, I slept like a baby too. I woke up slobbering. I was stuck to my pillow, dude. Like,
Like you get all over his legs. He used to use that calamine lotion. Like,
yeah, that's what I had all over my face yesterday.
oh,
Hey, John. Yeah, I tried to, y'all. I know. I
trying
wish I
to,
could. I wish I can go more. Like I could. I mean, I'm just. Everything's so random at my house. Like and then I got Bro and the twins, and they drive me nuts. So it's so random. Danielle, huh?
yeah, you never know what's gonna happen from.
I know, right? Right.
Danielle's, wait a second, she's on the phone and she's ready to fix the water heater or whatever was key.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I did get it going. The thing, and yeah, me and Bro did that yesterday. Yep, had to.
Danielle's the jack of all trades over here.
You got hey, and my brother, he actually is with his memory. He remembers some things. Like he helped out with the electrical and because it's and the mechanic part. My bro used to be a mechanic, and he's still. Oh yeah.
That he liked a lot and did a lot of, they will remember that stuff.
Yeah. Well, then I know that's music. My God, you tell that boy girls would come to my house, right? Like my friends, and they'd be like, my brother would be sitting there just minding his own business, listening to his music, right? And I'll be like, and they're like, oh my God, he's got the key to my heart. That's the song. I said, bro, you have no idea. Like, I mean, because he'd just be sitting there minding his own business, and he can get all kinds of girlfriends,
Right? It's those quiet ones they like. Right.
Right. Hold on real quick, okay? Hold on.
All right. But
like we say, so random here at my house. My brother. Hold on, y'all.
He's my brother. Okay, so what else we got going on, guys? I had some, sometimes I don't know how my paperwork gets so mixed up, but this is some stuff I had back.
I'll be right back, y'all. Okay.
A market, police brutality. We had some stuff from back here. I mean, what is this? These are just some notes. Oh, look at this. This is a letter to Daryl Issa. Okay, this is what year was this? I don't even think it has a date on it. Okay, well, I can tell by where we lived. Again, it's 31 Pine Street in Milford, Maine. So this is when Hawk was going through pre-med. Let me see what it says. Dear Mr. Issa, enclosed DVD is a documentary of President Obama. See, we were sending it to these senators and congressmen too. It has been recently updated. The information in this movie shows President Obama's failure to act on credible warnings from the top national security advisor. As a result, many Americans died. My background is the son of American Revolution. My ancestors were the most outspoken and fought the duration of the war. Cam Braun with the extra NE. I continue this legacy by using my mouth, my words as a weapon against tyranny. Because of this, the Obama administration has cut off
What
our
you
phone
reading?
line to the Oval Office, a number obtained during the Clinton administration, threatened us several times not to call with our warnings or we would get in trouble. Number two,
What are you reading?
huh?
What are you reading?
This is a letter that I wrote to Daryl Issa back in early 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
Letter. So this is how far back I've been fucking contacting this Daryl Issa. But they put a block on our phone number so we couldn't call any office at the White House, including the comment line, the day after Obama.
So, what was I saying? I was going to say something. Dang it. Maximus. This is the Gabriel Hernandez case has been really on my mind a lot. Dip and watch. As soon as
What's about
hold
that?
on.
I don't even know what that is.
Like, it's a for-profit company that runs government services. That's what Maximus is. But the connection it has between international and the United States and all 50 states. I mean, it's kind of like, is that like an underground trafficking ring? What? I mean, that's the funding. I mean, do they fund the fact? I mean, what's going on?
I'll be here. Okay, I gotta get.
Where are you going? You ain't supposed to go nowhere. No more coffee, woman. I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't even open up that can of coffee. I swear.
Look, she's been kicking my butt at Monopoly, y'all. I haven't even been on it today, and she's done beat my butt. She done bragged about it today. So what's going on, everybody? I'm curious in the chain of command. Let's see. Who is above the mayor? Right. Did you guys hear Trump is going to push a 90-hour training of the Constitution for these federal agents? They should. They should all be trained on the Constitution, Bill of Rights, everything. Yeah. Even the law enforcement, everywhere, they need to do that. Anything that involves our rights or whatnot, in anything. I mean, like if you're going to be if you're going to be involved with the press, I mean, your rights there, freedom of speech, anything that involves us being involved. Please don't say or they already said to you. If so, who is above them? Right. I'm curious. Right. It makes you wonder a lot, and then who's real? Like, I was looking into the Nancy Schaefer thing here in Georgia, and there's a name that's popped up recently that couldn't find out. She goes way back, like even during that time, she goes back to the 90s involved in this in Georgia. She's a public official. She's been in a Senate seat. She's been in a judge seat. She's been in, I believe, I'll have to fact check that because I can't remember. But but here recently she's popped up as the general counsel for DHS, and I'm like, whoa, and there's some things about this person that makes me quiver, in a messed up way. Like, it's not. I get very bad vibes. And the thing is a friend said her name the other day, and I was like, whoa.
Rights in order to streamline it under the radar.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, did you already read these comments?
No.
Absolutely.
I read the ones about. I'm curious.
They infringe on our speech and our religion. Nothing. Some cops are aware, and others do not care, but do not get punished for doing so. Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about with the Maximus thing. They deal with the government services. Think about Medicaid and food stamps. They're the ones that do they're supposed to be like, if you have a case plan and they're supposed to be like getting you a referral to this and that. So if they connect all 50 states. I mean, we may not hear about them, but the research I've done, it's a for-profit company that runs government services. But they're also, and if you go to overseas, Miss Clear, what's her name? Miss Clearwater, and John's based up in Canada. It's up in Canada. It's overseas. And where's Miss?
The web plans is saying, well, who is above the governor? The U.S. The lieutenant governor? I mean,
lieutenant governors, I thought up under the governor.
Oh, okay. I don't know who. Oh, Secretary of State, Attorney General.
That's the governor is the highest one. I thought you got to go to the federal then.
Okay, so
there's on the state level they have to. I mean, then you got the senators. I would think, right?
Right, because any like a mayor or something like that, that'd just be like localized to towns and stuff like that. So yeah, anything over the
I
governor.
do not know how they deny anyone because applying means to beg. People are begging for help and they do
Why
not care.
are they being held accountable governors?
Because this is a system built like with the DAFCS or CPS or whatnot. It's supposed to help families, not hurt them. And you hear what Priscilla says. Scylla says, I do not know how they deny anyone because of applying means to beg. And right, this is a system that was built to help families, not hurt them. And look what it's doing.
This is part of my look at this answer brief to the children's appeal.
Wow, Wet Plan State Attorney General.
Mother of SC and CC minor children.
The ombudsman and AGs and stuff. You know what's crazy is I don't know about other states. I know in some states the AG, like the SAG, Special Assistant Attorney General or whatnot, they help. They like represent DHS and shit, and I think that's crazy. They are connected over the borders.
Well, I know the governor.
Right, John. Right.
Because if you look at the top of your paperwork from DCF, it's going to have the governor's name up in the corner. So I think they should be held to.
I'll show you that right now. Hold on. I got you on that. I got you. Hold on. I got you.
What? I'm sorry?
We're going to see about the governor. Let's see.
Anybody remember this? Howard Stern, before Howard Stern turned weird or whatever, Howard Stern.
He went weird?
Howard Stern for governor. Howard Stern for governor of New York.
Said he went weird?
Me and Chris went on a psychic honeymoon to New York, and we almost got into the Howard Stern show up there. That's before he went to satellite radio.
Hold on, now what does that comment say, Brenda? It just came up.
Okay, so Maximus and Company is an American government service company with.
So it's American?
In countries, what?
It's American, you said?
American. That's what Amy's saying. Hey, Naylor. We were just talking about. We're wondering what's if you're doing okay.
Yeah, asking what's up. Thanks for
everything's going all right with you, or you're just skating by life as it comes at you. With operations in countries including the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. And what does that say? Brian P. Kemp.
That's the governor.
Backwards, guys.
See what that says? In the middle? What does that say?
I don't know. It's backwards.
It says Georgia Department of Human Services, Aging, Child Support Services, Family and Children. But look who's over here, too. Candace Broche. And she's the commissioner of the DHS.
Oh. Okay, so you know that what is it? The lady's name, Siobhan Harris. Okay, is above in Florida. Okay, she's one of the head of this DCF or whatever this is. Siobhan Harris, Human Services. She was one of the names for the Kids for Cash when they were all talking about it. You've seen the clip, right? Siobhan Harris. I was watching that again today, and I was writing down these names. I'm like, "Hello, Siobhan Harris."
They did nothing.
She's one in freaking Florida. I remember. I've been trying to contact her office, throughout all the years or whatever. And you get to the
have operations. Look what John said. Look what John says. They have operations in Muslim countries, to mostly in Muslim countries. So, do they just streamline between the Muslim countries, John, or are they in one with the whole? Because the United Kingdom, Canada, and and that is facts because here we are in the U.S. I can vouch for that. John's in Canada and Miss Clearwater is in the UK, so that connects that right there with Maximus.
Okay, so maybe Chilla is saying that I got in contact with the ombudsman, but she did nothing. She said
they don't
had done everything and that they were supposed to, but yet manipulated documents, etc. Yeah, somebody who kept just recently throughout
China.
Years, people were saying, "Did you go to the ombudsman?" Well, I said I probably did because I've gone down anywhere, but I did go there again, and they're like, "Oh, we have nothing to do with that."
The people here in Georgia that I know of went there, and even the lieutenant governor have gotten nowhere. I mean, and I hate to say this about Mr. Ozoff, but that investigation he did here in Georgia on and I was in that because I'm you know what, I'm going to email that lady again.
Is it Ossoff or Isoff? It's Daryl Issa?
Ossoff, no, John Ossoff.
Oh, okay, my bad, because I was thinking it was the same one. Oh, this is
He's
Gerald.
the Democrat
I
for
think there. What is this? The advisor that been consistently right.
China, huh, John?
You know,
Wow.
yeah, so I just pulled, like, I'm trying to straighten out myself, guys, because I got my things from Maine mixed up with things from Florida. I find a paper here and there.
Maximus gives me the creeps.
Right,
Who's
exactly.
that big family that runs a lot of, like, they're bankers or something, and it's a big it's a family, but they're big and they're is it the Rothschild? No, not the.
It's not the ones that did that show. They had a show, and then all of a sudden, Trump released them from prison. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the big family. They're banker. They own banks or something. They're a big family.
Yeah.
John thinks that the Maximus is also in China.
The Rothschild. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, the Rothschilds. It sounds familiar, but I never knew anything about them. So I got a bunch of pages of statements and facts all the way through. Wow. And then, okay, so this says something about Najee Johnson. That was the GAL. Okay, this is the lady. So this was a young lady that came in, and she says GAL. She's supposed to check on the children and their placements to make
Rockefellers.
sure. Oh, the Rockefellers?
That's oil, yeah.
Rockefellers, right? I like the way you did that. Like the Goodfellas. Hey, yeah. It's like we're dealing with freaking mobsters with some of this, stuff. You think about it, guys. Oh my gosh. Who knows? Maybe the mobsters are the ones that are on our side. But the GOs, okay, so she said the kids was going to be in court, and the statements about having visits. She wanted them to the visitation center. During the conversation with BC, that's me, she did not demonstrate a recognition of the issues that brought the children to care or important services or have children safely returned home. While Brenda Cameron might completed her services, the GAL did not think she was actually taking in what the service had. So even though it was a completion, she's acting like, in my mind, it didn't sink in. And this is like you say, it's some young girl has no experience, fresh out of their little college classes or whatever they freaking are. She did not take in what was actually in what the service was about or why the services were needed. And then the GAL thought parental rights should be terminated. So this young lady, this young black lady that wanted to say to me when I said, oh, look at my daughter, I haven't seen her in like 2.5 months because you took my visits away. And when I say, hey, let's have a birthday party with this Play-Doh since we missed all your guys' birthdays. I was right. Yeah, of course it was in September, October when my kids' birthdays were. The visits are all stopped. And my daughter takes a Play-Doh and makes, a penis out of it. And I said, did you see this? Because she hasn't been in my care. She hadn't even seen me for the longest time. And all of a sudden she's making penises out of Play-Doh. And you know what she said to me? She said, kids will be kids.
Thank you, John. You know what's crazy? So that's your daughter that did that, you said?
Oh, my daughter did that, but yeah, this GAL I was just reading about, and then when she got up on the stand during the TPR trial, she said that I was the one that said kids will be kids.
Brenda, I'm
like,
gonna be here. I guess I'm the one that's backstage now, so that's cool. But yeah, if I have to jump off for a minute, I'll still be backstage, okay?
All right.
Because my brother's.
Are we gonna just run this into the late show, or there's probably not gonna be a late show tonight?
It's already 11:19 here.
Yeah.
So areas served: Canada, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States is where Maximus operates. So when they were talking on the show last night, Dr. Des said, I can't read that comment. Why were the children removed from the home? Neglect and lack of follow through with court order and medical appointments. This is why the kids was removed. And that's on yours, Dr. Death, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He says
medical kidnapping. And but yet they can probably miss appointments for their kids. And guess what? Oh no, they don't get their kids taken. That's bullshit.
Okay, listen to this.
Oh, they're crazy, man.
Said,
Not
okay,
you, Dr. Death. Not you.
my daughter was 13 years old and developmentally delayed. She has been diagnosed with autism and autism spectrum.
Too
And
many kids that are developmentally delayed are being taken.
It's just same GAL that I told you about the Play-Doh and all that. She's found it concerning that the parents didn't know that the child had
any kid that qualifies for Social Security, Brenda, can get it.
Told them she had autism. What are they?
Yeah, but look, think about it. All these kids that are entering foster care, I have an autism or some kind of disability. I mean, right there, Social Security. Hello. That's oh my God, these people.
Yeah, they get seeing double digits on that, right?
Maximus handles the healthcare market. Yes. Across the country. There are other services that they do. Yes. Amazon works. And that's their operating software. Oh shit.
Whoa. Okay, so
I think that okay, hold
guys,
I'll be right back.
She had concerns that the parents would not continue services for the children if they were returned, if the children were returned to us, and thought it would be harmful to the children to return to the parents. And then here it goes on to talk about some findings. The trial court terminated their rights pursuant to section 39.806, okay, 1E and 1, and 39.806 E, 1E3, and 39.806 1C because of a case plan non-compliance and continuing involvement threatening the children. Okay, what is this saying? I didn't even probably never even freaking read this. Damn.
Brenda, what's your definition of for-profit and non-profit?
Well, a non-profit is that so you put together this non-profit and you would usually you're not profiting.
Nice, Naylor. That's good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
You're not making a profit. You're not supposed to be making a profit. You're supposed to be
like voluntarily
or like
volunteer
type thing or something like that. Right?
So by donations, I guess.
Yeah, and then these are the same type of people like okay, so we used to have a nonprofit, okay, and then we'd go out and collect.
So that's like the charities, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like the little backpack, like the little not what is it? Like the Toys for Tots thing. Like here in Georgia. Okay.
So that's a nonprofit, like in there will be different places that do that. Salvation Army is a big one for that, right? And then
so for profit is they get money.
Okay, so for profit, yeah. So don't you think these nonprofits are still getting money? But if the nonprofit gets money, then it's supposed to be spent on whatever this cause that they are a nonprofit for would go to. Maybe it'd be research. Maybe that money would go to research or something like that. I mean, but what are these third parties that are branching off from DCF are nonprofits, like the Partnership for Destroying Families.
Thank you for that, Miller.
Right? What about Devereaux? Is that nonprofit?
It's supposed to be nonprofit, but I beg to differ. They say they get these donations from the community, but bullshit. I beg to differ. They sure do. Yeah. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on Devereaux, boy. That place, look, they make me sick.
Okay, so this is another lady we were bound to see. Her name is Dr. Abels, okay, Linda Abels in Gainesville. If anybody, you said you're having dreams about Gainesville, here's one for you. Based on the testimony of Dr. Abels, Brenda Cameron had not demonstrated any insight into the harm the children suffered. I don't understand what harm my children were suffering. She did not have the ability to identify future harm to the children and was not able to protect them from harm.
You know what crazy, what Naylor just said about Amazon? Amazon built a big warehouse building. I'm listening, Brenda. And they with Max, like he said, with Max. Oh, hold on. And Amazon, did that place ever get filled with Amazon over there? Is Amazon in that building over there by the Third Army? No, okay. So so Amazon got this big ass bill, right? And hold on.
So I mean,
Hi.
these
So look,
places are huge. I
well,
drove by them
it's
before.
still
They're huge.
empty though, supposedly. It's
Oh,
Amazon got it built, right? They tore down all the nature stuff. And these deer, you know what I'm saying? And cleared it out, Brenda. It's like, I forgot how many acres. I mean, now them houses around there, oh my gosh, but
what
why did
song
they
does
build something just to vacate it and
Danielle?
go somewhere else? So
What
now
song does
that's just
that
sitting there. What'd
remind
they build
you
it
of,
for?
Danielle?
Huh?
Anybody, Dr. Death? What song does that remind you of, Dr. Death?
What?
Pay paradise, put up a parking lot, right?
Wait a minute, I know that song.
Take all the trees, put them in a tree museum.
Why do I know this song?
Charge everybody $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go, but you don't know what you got
Oh
till it's
yeah. Look, I have no idea what the words are. I just like the music. I just let it. Look, I make up my own words. Don't ever turn the radio down when I'm singing a song, because you're gonna get nothing but a bunch of gibberish. But I'll act like I know what I'm saying. Or know what I'm singing. I try to
There
be
are
cool.
some songs I do know the words of.
Yep. So they're a federal contractor with the government. It is a call center, and we answered calls from Medicare beneficiaries and helped with them. So yes, then that's Maximus does provide. Yes, and Maximus is the one. They run those services. Yes, and that's no one can paradox the future. I'm sorry, no one can paradox the future. Is that what you said?
um, they are a
That's
federal contractor with the government. It is a call center, and we answer calls from
but they're for profit. You see that?
Right. Okay.
Because in the Gabriel Hernandez case, the health marketplace, we answer calls for the marketplace, the healthcare marketplace, Naylor,
This is
and they
the
assisted the clients with their enrollment.
the other day, 2 days ago. I had trouble with this marketplace.
Yep.
I got thrown onto this fucking health insurance and threw me off my Medicaid. I mean, I had
Lemon tree.
It's crazy. You can't trust those people. Lemon Tree is the song Brenda said. Lemon Tree? It is? I didn't know it was called Lemon Tree. I have a lemon tree. Yeah, I have it in a big, huge pot.
Brenda, if I step away for a minute, my brother needs me real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
That's okay.
Okay.
I thought it was Paved Paradise. Now let me see. How about? Oh, I know what it was called. Yellow Taxi, right? Yellow Taxi. A big yellow taxi came and took away my old man. Late at night, I heard that screen door slam. A big yellow taxi came, took away my old man. Oh, it always seems to go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone. Pay paradise, put up a park. That was Joan Baez, right? No, that was she's. I don't even know. I don't know who. Oh, okay. I believe you. So, what future harm could you see if you don't know what the harm could be? That's true.
Right.
Okay.
Nobody can, we can't predict the future. Yeah, right. Oh, predict the future. Right. We don't know what's going to even happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? Life's going to do what life's going to do.
Okay, so it says, okay, so this Dr.
You're correct.
April, okay, that this lady that wore the short skirt and said, oh no, wait, that was the other one. That was that Roseanne Rutledge. This is the one that works for Village Counseling Center. You might want to look up those places, Danielle, like in Gainesville. What is this Village Counseling Center that their main focus is adoption, but they're sending us there for our case plan. And all separating. We all seen this Dr. April separately. She's seen Sage,
Right.
she's little Chris, Chris, and so it says that I did not have the ability to identify future harm of the children and was not able to protect them. The children would be at risk of harm of abuse and neglect in the parents' care. Dr. Abels also opined that future services would be futile, and there was no reasonable basis to believe Brenda Cameron would improve with additional services. She agreed that Miss
Right, Dr.
Rutledge.
Go ahead, Brenda. Sorry.
It was. Listen. She agreed with Miss Rutledge that Brenda Cameron was not teachable. I'm not teachable. No, I'm not persuaded to what do they call it when they it's like bribery. It was literally bribery.
Naylor said, "What health insurance did you have prior to speaking with the marketplace, Brenda?" And then Joni Mitchell, Big Yellow Taxi.
I can tell you. Yeah, Joan. Okay, there you go. See, it was Joan, but right, it was a different Joan. I love her. Let me see. I have that paper right here. Yeah, they threw me into this United Healthcare thing. Okay, and I luckily my son has these wonderful people that work at the clinic that I go to, and I went down there. She told me like who to call and to call down to the marketplace to say, hey, this was a fraudulent thing they threw me into because they weren't going to cover for my medications when I called to make refill my prescription or whatever. So yeah, that was weird. United Healthcare, and I didn't fucking make any deal with anybody about that. It's just like, oh my goodness, I always mix those up. Yeah, because I think over here it's like Louisiana. I thought it was on Louisiana Health Connections or something. So what else is this crazy? Whatever this thing is, I've been reading. It's really it's what did I say it was, guys? It was the answer brief of the appellate respondent for the Department of Children and Families. And the guy that I dealt with, okay, these guys are over in Jacksonville, Daniel, if she's still there. Ward L.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so that was the people that did the appeal for the Department of Children and Families, okay? And that he was in Jacksonville is what I was trying to tell you. So this was their answer brief to, the whatever I turned in on the appeal. And like I said, I did it myself. Let me see. I just don't know. It's just so much, guys. It's unbelievable. I mean, who has time in a day to go through all this stuff,
Right. I mean, but now, maybe it was meant to be for me to be a researcher.
Right.
Or something to do with like data and just researching and
right.
My daughter wanted to be a what is it? Yeah. And then she wanted to be an archaeologist, and then she wanted to be a vet.
We've gained a lot of knowledge just by, sharing our cases and everything like that. I mean, I have learned so much because, like I said, when I first obtained this, for me, it was over, man. There's really like no sense.
I've learned a lot in 2 years, but since all this started, I've learned a lot, and it's crazy because you would never think that things that we thought were supposed to be one way are now we're seeing that it's not.
Okay, so John is saying that you are unteachable. Is mental
it changes human
right violation and moral and ethic violation. Oh, really, John? Did you hear that?
Yep.
Some employees with the marketplace have no idea what they're doing and never had any problems with my callers, mainly because I listened to them and their wants and needs and asked questions before. Oh, so you've done this. You've been one of these people. I see. Enrolling them in any plan. I didn't know that, Naylor. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that was so, it ruined it, wasted my whole freaking day is what it did. It, pissed me off. Like, I'm okay. So I went a day without some of my medicine because of it. I'm like, I'm not going to go down there and pay cash for this medicine. No way. I waited a day and I got it for free as usual. Domestic, let me see. Okay, so many different, okay, and there's another player in this freaking game, was this Miss Herring. Okay, she's one of these counselors, one of these, God forbid, she looked like that one lady that used to sing another song. I can't remember right now. But after they split up mine and Chris's counseling sessions, instead of going to Roseanne Rutledge, after the recording and all that stuff happened, I mean, I don't know if you wanted to hear that part about the stupid recording.
Back Silver Live. Hey, girl.
The court found Miss Rutledge, okay, demonstrated lack of
Oh,
that
okay.
Brenda Cameron.
That
Guess what?
was Naylor's. That was Naylor's fiance just writing. Brenda, that was telling you she was working there. Yeah, that was Naylor's fiance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, Amy.
Oh, that is Amy. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, the
Good to
other
see y'all. Good to
is
see you, Back Silver Live.
this lady is saying that I demonstrated lack of insight to the children's developmental delays. Okay, and then they did not complete counseling because the parents taped the counseling session. No, it wasn't parents, it was Chris taped the counseling session without the therapist's permission. It's our counseling session. If we want to be able to tape it, I think that doesn't go either way. What do you think about that, Danielle? Or Amy?
What?
That if we were made to go to this counseling session with this Roseanne Rutledge, me and Chris puts a recorder in his pocket and records the session, and she since it says so it says that we taped this session without the therapist's permission. So what's wrong with that? Is there something wrong with that? I think if it's the other way around, if she taped it and didn't tell us, then that would be a problem.
Dr. Death said that's the same down there, or with him.
Okay. That's how she covered her ass for what she did to us, huh? My caseworker had to take a
Hey.
medical after she took my son. Actually, Fact Over Lies had some good news today, correct? In regards to some paperwork. She's going down and gathering up some paperwork and finding out some good stuff. And that, she has every right to be able to see her son with no interference. The thing was, Danielle, with that, it's just like as the years progressed, this lady that the father is with just became a real nuisance when it came to the care of that bond between Fact Over Lies and her son. Now I found that while watching YouTube vids in totalitarian mass psychosis to educate myself on that subject and the subject of the Lucifer effect. I've heard of that before, the Lucifer effect. Even though I don't, like, my memory wouldn't be so great to tell you exactly what that was about, but I do recognize that name. What else, guys? So moving on. Okay, so then, like I said, I was made to go to this Miss Herring. Now I can't remember her first name right off, but this is when Chris was sitting in jail. Said he's sitting in jail for this marijuana charge. That's when they took my kids. They also took our Jeep, and then Chris is sitting in jail thinking that I'll be able to get the children back. It says that I refuse to acknowledge that CC, which means Christopher Cameron, could be dangerous to the children, and the children could be afraid of their father. She minimized the violence and sexual inappropriateness of the videos. So where did this guy's come from? Danielle, have you ever seen any violence or sexual inappropriateness?
Slam. What now?
This lady,
My brother just slammed his finger in the door. Ouch.
this counselor that I had to go through that had her little certificates or whatever, this counselor in
Yeah.
Trenton, Florida, she says that I minimize the violence and sexual inappropriateness of the videos and laughed at them. This lady did, like during our sessions, all she wanted to do was talk about Chris and his videos. I thought this session was about me. But this is what happened. She'd go through the videos and yeah, and I don't know. You know why she's saying sexual appropriateness? I know. I remember why she's saying that now. When Chris was going around the beach in Panama City, or no, I don't even know if it really was Panama City. I think he said it was, but we were somewhere else. But in any case, the kids like Chrissy had his little Robin outfit on with a little shirt with a cape, and Sage had Harley Quinn outfit, which she was dressed with pants more than anybody else on that beach. Okay, and when Chris is running around with a rubber chicken, and the kids couldn't even hear it because we did the voiceover later on the video. He would go up to people and say, "Do you want to see my cock?" And most people were laughing about it, and everybody wanted to come take up pictures with him because he was dressed like the damn Joker on the freaking beach. And everybody's running up there wanting to take pictures with Chris and Sage and the kids or whatever. In fact, I'll post up that picture one day. And they're saying because of this, they believe there's sexual inappropriateness because we're filming on the beach and ladies are walking around with bikinis. I'm sorry. That's usually what the beach looks like. And let me see. Brenda Canberra demonstrated minimal acknowledgement, gained no insight, and concluded that BC was not teachable or treatable. I'm not teachable or treatable. I love this one. You know, that is, and this case involved extreme, bizarre issues, and Brenda Cam's behaviors were similar to someone who has been brainwashed. Okay, so does anybody out there know like the definition of brainwash? I kind of funny that you can go back in history. I remember I was reading this book when I was in Louisiana, thrown in jail up over here back in 2019. And it had a whole history of brainwashing. That brainwashing actually isn't a really thing, or maybe that's not the right way to say it.
Disappeared. Oh.
Do you know anything what the definition of brainwashing is, Daniel, or the history of like when they started?
I know. Go ahead.
Brainwashing.
Say that again. Say that again.
Like back in history, I wish I had that book, but I put out a book in Louisiana jail, and it talked about the history of brainwashing and if it actually was really a real thing, brainwash. I mean, because what it said is that our case involved extreme, bizarre issues and behaviors. And it says my behaviors were similar to someone who had been brainwashed.
That's what they say a lot. I mean, but I mean, how could they judge? It's not their job.
Anybody else out there? Had anybody say that about them? And you know
all
what
the time.
Was, they figured that me and Chris were together so long that this was a bad thing.
Are they saying Chris had you brainwashed?
Yeah, yeah.
They're crazy. See, that they're trying to label that man, and that man is just another. He's a father that just wanted to be around his kids. That's all. And you see what and just help the community and help the state. They didn't. Oh yeah.
But it says that I was not teachable or treatable. and that could not approve.
Oh, that sounds like my psychiatrist said there was no help for me, so she had to quit her job and find a new profession. That's what she told me. They're crazy, man. They need to look at themselves. Can they not go get an evaluation done on themselves? When's the last time anybody ever got somebody's evaluation? If they can get in our medical history, why can't we get in theirs? Because I guarantee you, they got some quirks going on with them too. You know what I mean? But no, we're not allowed to have their evaluations. Oh no. Let me tell you, the governor here in Georgia just vetoed that bill. Remember me telling you that they were wanting, the DHS here in Georgia was wanting to go all the way back on criminal history and someone's history, period. Even back to your your childhood years, like that right there is just absolutely ridiculous. Even employees, they wanted to do that too. That's bullshit. Let's see their shit. But no, he vetoed the bill, thank God.
Wow. Amy's got to go to bed, but she said they got
Night.
work 14
We
to
love
16
you. Love you.
Listen,
Night.
this reminds me. She said,
Have a
listen,
good night, y'all.
fall asleep. Well, the thing is, remember that Conan O'Brien used to do these little lullabies. Little baby, go to sleep. Little baby.
Or that one, hush little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. My son, every time I sang that song, he would pitch a fit. He would cry. He hated that song.
What about when Eminem did it, and it was about his
Hush little baby, don't you cry. It's gonna be all right. Yeah.
Everything's gonna be all right. That's about all I know of that one. So this Herring lady continues to go on. Individual counseling. Oh yeah, fail to acknowledge these criminy. Let's look at the summary of argument. Brenda argues that the evidence would not prove statutory grounds or that a termination is the least restrictive means, primarily because she claims reasonable efforts were not made to assist her.
Look, my kids, I never ever heard a peep when I had my youngins when they were little, and I know I missed appointments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could happen. It could happen to any family, and I cannot. And yeah, you're right. It's not like they didn't miss appointments. Darn right they did. I mean, it's a kid. I mean, I even miss appointments with my brother. I mean, because if I don't tell him 3 months ahead of time, it ain't gonna happen. I promise you. You cannot do an appointment or anything at the last minute with my brother. He will have an anxiety attack. He will go. He will show. He will like throw his temper tantrum, something, because it will. I mean, it's just imagine if we were in their mentality. Mental. Like my brother. I mean, I mean, you're going up against the world, like going out in society, in the world, and boy, I mean, look, my blood pressure goes up just talking about it. So like, they just want us to do their way. I mean, and it's not going to happen. It's either their way or the highway. Well, I'll see the highway. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. They don't run our lives. They act like parenting in life comes with an instruction manual, and it doesn't. Their job does, though. I know that. So, I mean, what policies and procedures do we have to abide by for life? Life's going to do what life's going to do no matter what. Whether we like it or not, it's how we overcome it. Right, Brenda?
Right.
We can't.
What did she say? A referral was made with concerns for the child while the mother, due to her mental health issues, the mother believes the world is ending and meteorites are coming to Earth.
Well, there have been meteorites coming to Earth, I thought.
Yeah, it happens all the time, right? It's the circle of life. The meteorites will come.
The circle of life.
Just like
I don't even know the rest of the words.
Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, whatever you want to call it. I tell you, the lights dance in the sky when you really see some good northern lights.
My mom, she named stars after, like, there's a star named after me somewhere up there. I wish I could get the paperwork because my dad, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's a story for another day. But my father, but Dad, I'm disappointed in you, old man. I'm very upset with him. Like, that's my mom too, you know. But anyhow, she did name stars after all her grandkids, and then each one of them got a star. And then my brother, me, and my younger brother got a star. My dad's got a star. My nanny and papa got a star. I mean, I don't even know if she did the whole family. Like, boy, that's a lot. But yeah, that's cool.
Amy saying, I prefer some 5-finger death punch or drowning pool, Slipknot, or some Britney Spears. If you are going to sing me to sleep.
Did you see what John said about brainwashing? All the pro-conservative seekers are brainwashed. Yep, I heard that. No common sense is brainwashing, or liberal Democrat lies forced down your throat, but blinding the truth with manipulating. They manipulate a lot. Like, and
Wow.
are you gonna sing Naylor to sleep, Brenda? Probably. She will. She did me the one night. Ooh.
Baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be all right.
If a meteor is going to hit Earth, I'll be long gone. Me.
Do we know any Britney songs?
No, it's not media and censoring. Independent media. You know what? If you look at all these independent, text me and Brenda, for instance, we come in here raw. We come in here, look, there ain't a dull moment in my life. Like, I come in here and I tell you the truth. I mean, y'all gonna know what's going on in my house. You know what I'm saying? Because I have nothing to hide. And you're right. That's truth, John, and it's not brainwashing. I'm not here to brainwash nobody, and I'm not here to lie about no damn thing that's going on. Because I'm telling you, if you know, lying didn't get me nowhere in life. It got me 22-3, you know, a hell of a sentence, you know, but I'm not, you know, all we got in life is our word, you know, and brainwashing. I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. That's somebody just trying to cover up a bunch of bullshit. They, you know what I'm saying?
So under the summary of the argument, okay, it says, let me see.
Brenda, if I step away, my brother needs me again.
To the point of issues were resolved, and she is unable to demonstrate that she can safely care for her children. The children were harmed in her care. I mean, where's the proof of this? The children were harmed in my care. I don't see.
Well, that's just like, where's all the exactly? If they had, where, like, that's like an independent. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on.
So the children were harmed in her care, and she still poses a threat of harm to them. The appellant overlooks the totality of the evidence. The arguments ask the court to reweigh the evidence. However, the appellate court cannot and will not reweigh the evidence. See, okay, there's something they're quoting here. SS versus Department of Children and Families, 75 SO 3D 818 and 819, Florida 5th DCA in 2011. And then they're also quoting JB versus CS 186 SO 3D 1142, Florida 1st DCA. And Daniel, I don't know if you know this, but of course, our case in Dixie County is in the 1st DCA, and it was for Chris as well, or Chris, it is for Chris now. The appellant's statement of standard review is incorrect. This is like I said, this is the attorney.
I'm still here, Brenda. Okay, I'm just helping, bro.
This was written by the attorney for the Department of Children and Families for the appeal. Okay, that's what I've been going over and reading. But it is not simply abuse of discretion and competent and substantial review of evidentiary sufficiency. The appellate court must affirm a termination where the department meets its burden to present clear and convincing evidence of statutory ground for terminating parental rights, as well as a clear and convincing evidence that termination is the best interest of the child. And then they quote this case law, NL versus Department of Children and Families, 843 SO 2D 996 and 999, Florida 1st DCA in 2003. The standard of review is highly differential, finding that evidence is clear and convincing, enjoying a presumption of correctness. a presumption of corrections. Wait a minute. Finding that evidence is clear and convincing, they're enjoying a presumption of correctness. Such a finding will not be overturned unless clearly erroneous or lacking in evidentiary support. So then it should be overturned because it's clearly lacking in evidentiary support, is what the department or whatever, the state, whatever you want to say, it's CPS. Furthermore, a determination that the evidence is clear and convincing will not be overturned unless, a matter of law, no one could find the evidence to be clear and convincing. Competent and substantial evidence is what which sufficiently relevant to material and reasonable mind would accept an adequate support of conclusion is tantamount to legal sufficient evidence. ID at 1,000. I don't even understand what that is. The standard of review is low, and such that a reasonable mind would accept it as a reasonable mind. This really doesn't even make sense to me, guys. It would not accept as adequate to support a conclusion. CD versus Department of Children and Families, that's in 2008, first DCA in Florida, where the evidence is conflicting or turns on credibility of witnesses. All credence and presumption of correctness must be given to the trial court. FR versus Department of Children and Families in the Florida 5th DCA in 2002, the appellate court will not disturb a credibility finding by trial court. OS versus DCF, that's in Florida 4th DCA in 2002. So the findings of fact are presumed correct and accordant to a same weight as a jury verdict. So they're saying even though we're not getting a jury trial on what's going on with the kids, let me get caught up with these comments and then we can continue. I have an open heart surgery.
I'm still here.
CPS asked me what I'd do if I didn't have. I told them I would care. I would be dead, and it wouldn't have any say in what happened to my kids. LOL. I'm working on a letter to the commission board, a wet plant says, and a hardcore liberal voter may remark to my daughter saying along lines of her not being human. John, what is this? A hardcore liberal voter made a remark to my daughter saying along the lines of her not being human. Really? Because, a lot of people think, well, I mean, what do they think? They're aliens? I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, if they're not human, are they saying that, are they shapeshifters? What are they? This is how they think. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with their head. Okay, it's got to be. Republican or no better. It's true. I mean, it can go, like I say, it can go either way, guys. I mean, there's crazy people on every side of the board. Okay, like I say, it's like having a bag of apples for too long. A lot of them are going to start getting rotten. Let me see. What else? The court held that while we may have decided the case differently, we had been the trier of fact. It's not the function of this court to reweigh the evidence and substitute our judgment for that of the trial court. So what is their function? The court was crystal clear that it is not the function of the appellate court to reweigh the evidence. Okay, as trier of fact, it was the duty of the trial judge to observe the demeanor of the witnesses, weigh their testimony. So the trial judge, okay, that would have been in our case with the children, Judge William Slaughter. To observe their demeanor and witness, weigh their testimony, reconcile if at all possible, and if not, to reject what was unworthy of belief and to accept and rely upon the testimony the judge found worthy of belief. So I had talked to this particular Judge Slaughter later in the years after our termination, and he told me that he just went on the evidence that was before him. So if he's just going on the evidence before him, it must have not been anything that I had been written down to my the court-appointed attorneys or anything like that, because what I didn't understand to the case, the department keeps putting in these petitions, but what are the judges that are appointed to you doing? Are they putting in petitions? Not very many. I say I have very few for these years that this was going through the court. What they do is tell me and whisper at me during court is that the judge isn't going to buy the crap of the what was it, the DCF attorney over there, and her name was Rachel Chatsey. What a piece of crap this lady is. I mean, it's her goal in life to break up families, instill children, and then create some kind of freaky family. I swear to God, I've seen the worst thing when I was had to wait all day in court for me to be called. And while I was waiting, I literally seen this boy being adopted out to these foster parents. They adopted him, and it was just the weirdest thing. Like, and the kid, he's probably like about 7, 8 years old. Had the biggest smile on his face, like he thought that was the greatest thing. But God knows where this child's real family really was. I mean, they will drug, if you don't have delays, they're going to drug these kids up so they can't even think straight. Same thing what P. Diddy did when he abused all these young people down at his fancy parties. Children and families. So let me go on. There's something else they quote, Lath versus State, Florida First DCA in 1976. 333 and 122 and 124. Reconcile if possible, if not, to reject what is unworthy of belief and accept and rely upon the testimony the judge found worthy. So, witness testimony in disbelief or other parts to believe one witness but not another. So the trial judge is responsible for resolving disputes in the evidence and making findings and fact. CINRDJW 764 2-day and 826. Appellant concedes that termination is in the manifest, God forbid, best interest of these children. So this DCF attorney, what is that, Metzenbayer or whatever, that was at the beginning of this. What a piece of crap. That's all I can say. Is the only thing
I'm still here.
I'm telling you, the only thing these these appellate attorneys for Department of Children and Families or any attorneys for these horrible people that want to split families up. I mean, what kind of pieces of crap must they be? To be representing this bullshit. Appellee adopts the court's factual and legal findings regarding this matter. The court found 3 statutory grounds for termination. Okay, this is the totality and evidence is legally sufficient to prove statutory grounds for termination. And they're saying they're just restating. The court found 3 statutory grounds, 2 aspects of case plan noncompliance, and continuing involvement in the parental-child relationship threatening the children. And they keep saying threatening the children. I don't understand what was the threat to the children. 3 statutory grounds for termination. Okay, so 2 were aspects of the case plan noncompliance, which is not true.
I'm still here.
And continuing involvement in parent-child relationship threatening the children. This is just their opinion that if we had a continued relationship with our children, it would somehow threaten them. Okay, so what's going on in the chat here? So CPS that likes rush, when they get oh yeah, yep, Dr. Death, you're right about that. I think they're helping. Yeah. Police officer had been shot in Chicago. Breaking news now. Yeah, I did see. Wait, is this new? Huh. What's the dealio? What was happening? Chicago. I heard enough about Chicago. How about those Chicago hot dogs? Come on. They think in their minds it's God complex or a hero complex. Yeah, I believe that's to be true, John. CPS like the rush they get when they. Oh, okay, we already got that. Okay, I just want to make sure I was caught up. And when are you going to have the surgery, Dr. Death? Yeah, definitely let us know. Hopefully you're keeping care of yourself. And that's the thing, guys. You got to take care of your bodies and make sure you're just eating healthy, keeping hydrated, especially over here. It's hot as hell. Days and days of hotness, and it's not even summer yet. Keep hydrated, keep the fluids coming, and just try to I recommend growing your own herbs and stuff like that, where you could just keep yourself healthy and happy. Goodness gracious, we do what we can. Police officer, never, yeah, YOLO, exactly. Because I could tell you, if I went down to the store and I could get 4 bags of freaking chips for a better price, I got a bag of Fritos. I got 2 bags of Doritos. One of them was sweet and spicy. Wow, they were spicy too. I went to both of these bags in 2 days, and now I still have a regular Dorito and a Cheetos left. And those Cheetos and that powder they put on it is supposed to be so horrible for you. I think they're gonna ban it, RFK's saying. Let me see. All evidence and grounds regarding both the parents are interrelated. The evidence proves statutory grounds for termination. That termination is manifest as the best interest. We've already read that, right? I think they're just going over it again. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, how many pages is this thing? This is only this is page 40. Let me see. And again, they're going about, okay, so this Miss Paget, this is the Maryland lady that my daughter was talking about in that tape. Danielle, isn't there any way, one day we should play that tape of my daughter where she's crying about Miss Maryland and Jason Katz and blaming them for the situation that she was in, being abused and neglected. During her initial evaluation, BC did not accept any responsibility of why the children were removed and did not demonstrate any insight from the harm they suffered. Okay, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. I mean, when have we heard enough? They just repeat, just a bunch of repetitive, bull crap is what it is. Wait a minute. To a bare minimum, she would demonstrate real material changes over a substantial period of time. before the children could potentially be placed with her. Wait, what does this say before the page before that? That's interesting. Let me see. The evidence did not show these children can be safely placed with her. There was no evidentiary basis to conclude she would improve upon additional services at any time in the foreseeable future. Oh, now they can foresee the future? At a bare minimum, she would need to demonstrate real material changes over a substantial period of time before the children could potentially be placed with her. Even though I was a parent by the time they came around in 2016. I've already parented their 3 older siblings who all are doctors, medical doctors who graduated top of their class. It doesn't even make sense. Her failures to participate in what? What am I not participating in? Combined with her lack of insight and apparent feelings of persecution. Oh, because I told her of these horrible things that they were doing to my family. Apparent feelings of persecution show that there is no reasonable basis to believe she will ever participate or improve. The failure to gain a meaningful benefit from services provided with the case plan, despite technical compliance, is legally recognized basis to determine the future provisions of services would be futile. See TO versus Department of Children and Families 21 SD 3D 173179 Florida DCA in the year of 2009. This is the situation in this case. Based on Dr. Abel's and Ms. Herring's testimony, it appears that Brenda Cameron may have some mental health issues stemming from a dependent personality and brainwashing. Wow. They're fucking, I swear to God, their reality is like, is a freaking, is science fiction. They believe science fiction to be reality. Okay, this is what they believe. Parental rights may be terminated when a parent suffers from mental condition making future harm likely. Okay, so Danielle, I know that these things we've been talking about lately, that just because a parent, even if I was at that time had any mental conditions, which I didn't because there was no psychological facts to prove this was correct, why are you going to terminate rights just because a parent has a mental condition? Even if they did or not, okay? Police officer had been shot. Oh, we already read that, sorry. Okay, so, and there is no reasonable basis to conclude the conditions would improve. Law specifically recognized the continued involvement threat posed from mental conditions. Okay, they're quoting some different things. If anybody want to look that up, MFG versus Department of Children and Families, 723, blah, blah, blah. This is Florida 3rd DCA, 1998, okay? The law specifically recognizes the continued involvement threat posed from mental conditions. And then also quoting 2291 JY versus Department of Children and Families 10 3D 168 Florida 5th DCA in 2009. In fact, parental rights should, in parentheses, be terminated when a parent suffers from a mental condition that makes future harm to the child likely, and there is no reasonable basis to conclude the parent's condition would improve. I'm a mental case is what they're pretty much saying here, without reasonable facts. And this somehow threatens my children. But yeah, like I say, when did I become mental? When they took my kids out of my care.
Hey, what you doing, Brenda?
Mental before that, right? Am I right, Danielle? It's true. Yeah, they're saying they took the reason I couldn't parent my kids because I had mental problems. Can you believe this? Wow. Okay, so hopefully I didn't get this all mixed up, guys, going through it with y'all. But I mean, I don't even have all the pages here. I don't believe. Let me see if this was the last page. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, I did got to the last page. So, yeah, and I mean, you can see here. There's all kinds of, you know, cases referenced here that the Department of Children and Families lawyer used. A preliminary statement. Huh. And that was it.
I'm still here.
And we thought, we had some hope with the appeal when we filed. Both Chris and I filed appeals on the children's case that were denied. But like I say, that's why I say I got tons and tons of this paperwork. It's never ending. So 46. This is 46 here. Is that different? What is this? This is a fax. What is this? Fax number 46. Oh no, this is just a double copy. I see. Page 46 I have twice. Oh, and this Mr. Glaza, okay, was the therapist for Sage. He was an old man, old senile guy. And he testified that the child functioned at a 4 or 5-year-old level, but he didn't even know my daughter was autistic. Okay, this is how much this guy knows. And they have him as an expert witness at the TPR trial. Miss Ball, okay, Miss Kelly Ball of Village Counseling Center, okay, the one that my son Christopher said was asking him strange questions and sounded like inappropriate questions as well. I had made a lot of progress over the past year and a half. He had been out of the parents' care. Miss Ball could not recommend that the children return home. With an expert, Dr. Abels from this Village Counseling Center in Gainesville, testified there was no reasonable basis to expect improvement. Mrs. Ball believed that child Chris would suffer greater harm if returned to his parents. In addition to everything else, this Miss Paget, who was our caseworker lady, testified at the time of trial that Brenda Cameron accomplished nothing. All those certificates and stuff I got, and all those AA classes, and all the good recommendations that the substance abuse at Meridian did give me, meant nothing to them. They had me go through it, but they're still not recognizing that I successfully completed these things. And one of the reasons they say they terminated our rights because I didn't successfully complete it, but that's a lie. So what do I do in that situation? You think you would file a writ of certiorari to the United States Supreme Court, which I did, but it's gone unnoted. Let me see. Sorry.
I'm still here.
She was not okay. Listen, okay, so she could not, okay, they're saying, what is this? Okay. They're saying this about Sage. Okay, so Mr. Glaza said was Sage therapist. This was out in Fort Myers, okay? Outside of Charlotte County. She could not recognize an abusive situation, talking about my daughter, and cannot protect herself from abuse and neglect. He testified that she would need therapy for the rest of her life. Mr. Glaza also, why are they calling Mr. Glaza? He's just a therapist? Because it doesn't say he's got an MD or anything like that. Also, there had been a lack of attention to proper treatment of the child's autism. Well, really, because this, like I said, this idiot didn't even know my daughter had autism. And how many times did she go see him? And by the time he came to trial, he didn't even know. That's really, I bet you, he didn't have very many sessions with my daughter at all. She was not a genius as described by her parents. So he sees her a few times, my daughter, and claims that my daughter isn't a genius, as we described her to be. Well, screw them. He testifies that the parents ignore the child's psychological needs, which are very high in every area. Well, why was it that we have records of her, and the DCF have records of her going to a neurologist down in Gainesville, Florida? And Sage went through all types of tests down there. Was Shands? Yeah. That's pretty questionable. In addition to everything else, Ms. Padgett testified at the time of the trial. Okay, I already said that. Dr. Abrams noted that child Chris, like Sage, suffered from trauma and stressor-related disorder because of what happened to him. What happened to him? He was torn away from his parents? I mean, let's be a little bit clear on that, guys. Cognitive deficiencies. Well, anyways, guys, it looks like you've been hanging here with me for a while, but I mean, it's getting to be late for y'all. And
hey, Brenda, I'm still here.
What do you think? We probably wrap it up unless.
Oh yeah, we're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Whoops.
Wow.
Okay, we had a good show. Very good show, yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, I'll be here. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. is my show. 5:30. Just look for our notifications. And
okay.
And yeah, we'll go ahead and do last word. Go ahead, Brenda.
Well, and just wanted to mention that my show will be on again tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, probably more at the time that we're used to. We came on a little bit late today, so we missed maybe some people. And one of these days, and I still want to mention that on the 14th, we're going to do a special Happy Birthday, Mr. President. So be there.
It's just music. It's me.
Okay, it's you.
Is it too loud?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
But that's my last words. Yeah, I'm excited about this show. So, and
we're gonna be working on some things also. That's what I want to talk to you about. Everybody be on the lookout. We are gonna try to get all 50 states together to come up and do something, and that's what my goal is. I'm working on something because we got to do something. We got to get these people accountable. So if y'all want to join, we're gonna what?
We're gonna rock it out.
Yes, we are. So because that's what we got to do. Everybody's got to come forward at the same time. It's not just one person. This is a whole nation. This is everybody.
All right.
So let's rock it. We're gonna kick ass and take names.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Because remember, one is tough, but a pack is unstoppable. So good night, everyone. Y'all be good, be safe, and have a good night. Love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow at 5:30. Peace out, everybody. Keep fighting.
Restart, reset, and refocus as many times as you need. You are your own greatest project. But just always remember, don't give up.